Today I'm going to teach you how the place value of a digit grows by 10 when we multiply by 10. What number do these base 10 blocks represent? Since we have 1 rod and 4 cubes, this visual represents 14. Now I want you to consider what would happen if we added 10 more of each of these. So 10 more 14s. This visual right here is representing what it would look like if I had 10 total 14s. So just as a reminder, the long skinny visuals are the rods and the tiny ones are our ones. Is there a way that we could regroup these blocks so that we can see all of the 10s together and all of the ones together? Here you can see I moved all of my rods to this section and it gives me a 10 by 10 grid. Up here I moved all of my ones and this would give me a 4 by 10 grid. This is an easier way to organize our base 10 blocks. What is our total value now? Can you consider it a different way? We could originally just add up all of our 14s, but that could take us a while. It may not be as efficient. Now that we've organized our base 10 blocks into our rods and our cubes, we can see that we have 100 here and 40 here. Our new number is 140. If you don't quite trust it yet, try adding up all of these 14s and see what you get. When we multiply by 10, the digit itself grows by a magnitude of 10. For example, we started with 14, which is 1, 10, and 4 ones, but when we wanted to do 10 14s, multiply 10 by 14s, what happened was the 10s grew by a magnitude of 10 to give us 100. The 4s grew by a magnitude of 10 to give us 4 10s, and then we didn't add any other ones, so we just put a 0 there. So we started with 14, which is 1, 10, and 4 ones, and then when we multiplied it by 10, we got 140, which is 100s, 4 10s, and 0 ones. This is exactly what we're going to explore today in the relative value of place task. Before you move on to the task, I want you to consider one more thing. We started with 14 and then multiplied it by 10. What if we wanted to get 100 14s? What would that look like on our chart over here? Well, we know that when we multiply by 10, the digit grows by a magnitude of 10. So we can start with our 140, and now we're multiplying it by one more 10, and everything can shift over one more time. So now we have 1 in the 1,000, we have 4 in the hundreds, our 0 shifts over, and then we add another 0, getting us 1,400. So we started with 14, we multiplied it by 10, and then multiplied it by 10 again to get 1,400. I want you to consider what you notice about these zeros and how they relate to what you did with the multiplying by 10. This is exactly what you'll be practicing in the task today. On the worksheet, it gives you an example of how to do the first one, 10 boxes of 376 coins. You start out with 300, 7 10s, and 6 1s. Then when you multiply by 10, it's the same thing we did in the practice. The magnitude of 10, or the magnitude of each digit grows by 10. so we just shift it over 1 in its place value. If you'd like to add in arrows to help you keep organized, that's a good idea. So then you move on and you continue to do this worksheet. You can see that the numbers do get larger. We did up to 100 with this example, but you can see that it even goes up to thousands and even 10,000s. There's also a bonus part right here. If you know the place value of this box here, please enter it. Finally, be sure to use words to explain your answers for the last 3 questions. We are going to be discussing this worksheet in our Google Meet, so be sure to complete it the best you can and bring any questions or comments that you may have. Finally, after you finish your task, move on to the right section of your learning plan. This should only take about 5 minutes. I'd like you to think about the number 505. What is similar about the 2 5s in this number? What is different about the 2 5s in this number? If you'd like to use base 10 blocks to justify your answer, that's a great idea. Please record this in your math notebook. Good luck with your math today. I know your teacher is excited to see all of your work and hear all of your questions during your Google Meet.